It's Paul with LSP Data, and on this video, I'm going to focus on identifying properties, distressed properties, while doing virtual drawing for dollars. And I'll touch a little bit on what I mean by that, but typically, virtual drawing for dollars, if you search for that, you come across all these products that basically end up just using Street View. And essentially, this is what people consider virtual drawing for dollars, right? The problem here is that most platforms that use this obviously rely on Google Street View to be up to date, which in this case is 2022, right? Well, I wanted to solve that problem and stop relying on Google Street View and stop calling it virtual drive for dollars, right? So what our thought was is to identify properties that are distressed, but we're gonna virtually do this again without using Google Street View. And what we do is we correlate a lot of the data, whether it's complaint data, violations, etc. And we find individuals that take actual pictures of the properties, right? And we upload them to our platform. So I'll walk you through how to identify that. And again, this is what I call truly driving for dollars, because I'm not leaving my home to find my off-market deals, right? So let's jump straight to the platform. And in this instance, I'll use Houston as our use case. We have about 50 cities nationwide, but in this case, I'll use, again, Houston. So as you can see, this is how the platform looks like. We get a lot of different bells and whistles here, but what I'm interested in is, again, those that have a image, right? So if I were to type the word vacant here, the platform is going to look for any complaints or any matches where there's a vacancy, right? Now here, a lot of them, we can either look at the complaint, right? Or we can also say, you know what, let's just look at the ones that have a picture potentially associated with, right? So here we can say trash at curb on vacant lot, right? So here we identify a lot. Obviously the lot is empty. There's high grass and whatnot. There's other one, excessive heavy trash and rubbish trees, right? That looks pretty bad. Now, if we were to look at that in Google Street View, right? If you were to do virtual driving for dollars as other platforms like to claim, this wouldn't tell you anything. Right? There's nothing here. Now, let's take it a step further, right? Let's say we're looking for properties that are deemed uninhabitable. If I can spell uninhabitable, there you go. So now we kept the same complaint image, right? As you can see, there's been multiple instances in which the property says it's uninhabitable. If we look at an image that someone took, this looks pretty bad. Click on this one too. Rubbish and trash, right? Again, if you were relying on Google Street View, again, you're dealing with outdated images, right? So again, this is what we like to call virtual drive for dollars. On this particular one, you can also see that this has been USP as vacant, and there's also a tax delinquency associated with it, right? So if we were to pull this, just to kind of verify, let's check to see the status of the tax delinquent on this one. So this is the parcel. It's as simple as entering the parcel here, and you can see the property information. This looks like a potential probate. There's a tax delinquency here, as we can confirm. There's multiple ways of identifying these properties. We'll apply another filter just so you can get an example of this, right? So now let's say we're looking for properties that are also tax delinquent, right? And let's look at ones that have an image associated with it. We're also looking for properties that the ownership is individual, so that way we're not dealing with LLCs or corps. So now this criteria may give us a little bit more potential motivation, right? So again, you can look at the complaint type on what is a complaint, right? Nuisance on property. You can also click on the images like I showed you. This is another one. It says this is an ongoing issue. Nothing was ever addressed. Property is overgrown and shrubs are growing, right? If you click on it, that looks pretty bad. I guess where I'm getting at is that the platform that we have, someone took this picture physically. Again, you're not relying on just Google Street View to find those properties. And specifically, if you saw this one, right? The squatters continue to move in, etc., right? And this is also a tax delinquency one. We can see that the owner passed away as well. So here on the complaint, you can search for any specific property terminology that may lead to a motivation factor, right? Let's say we're happy with this. Let's say we typed again the word vacant. So now we're looking at individual ownership in which the tax is delinquent and we're dealing with an individual. It's as simple as going here and exporting this list, right? So in this case, there's 18 records that we can just export. We can quickly skip trace it. And we have the ownership information here as well, which I won't share because of YouTube may take down my video. But again, that's a simple, quick way of finding a distressed property using our virtual drive for dollars, right? This applies to other cities as well, right? Not all have images, but most of them do. Just want to kind of show you here. So depending on the city that you're interested in, as you can see, they're the ones that have a image associated. You'll be able to, again, do something similar. Search for, combine the image with a keyword, and you'll get a better idea, right? This home has been vacant and unattended for a while, right? This is a neighbor taking a picture of this. Same thing for other Tennessee, a lot of other places, right? So again, we're tying the property information with the parcel or appraisal district information, so that way we're also telling you what type of property this is, as we understand that some people are doing commercial, single family, multifamily, and whatnot. So again, from here, if you were looking at infill lots in your property, let's run through that use case real quick. So let's say you're interested in, you have buyers or developers that are interested in infill lots. So it's as simple as going here and doing infill lots within the city, right? And again, we get a pretty good idea of what the issue is in those particular properties, right? Illegal dumping in front of vacant lot, etc. And you can confirm that by clicking here, and you'll come across infill lots within the city. So that way you can easily find lots in which people are complaining about, because most likely people are leaving trash or other things that are impacting the communities. So again, if the owner has received many complaints or even code violations, etc., there may be more incentive for them to sell, right? Or if they have multiple violations as well, right? So again, pretty easy to use the platform, and again, it's think of how you would typically drive for dollars, right? If you were doing it physically, most likely you would choose a specific zip code, right? Let's say we're using a zip code that you're familiar with. You're gonna get relevant properties for that specific zip code. Let's say you're only interested in, well, actually it doesn't matter if it's absentee or permanent primary residence, because some individuals don't live in their primary residence, but they haven't updated it with the local county, so they would show up as primary residence. But again, let's say you're interested in just single family properties here, and ownership individuals, so that way you're not dealing with companies. Again, it's 293 entries out of 26,000. Again, you can simply just export it, skip trace it, call and negotiate. And again, this bit here is going to give you some insight into what's happening in the property, right? A lot of them say, the tall grass, etc. Some may say that, the property has mold, or there's issues, there was construction without permits, etc. So there's a lot of issues that get raised as a complaint. And again, we collect all that information, and that's why we're calling this virtual drive for dollars, because there's no need for you to click on Google Street View or to physically drive there, right? Because you can read what the neighbors are saying about the properties, right? Again, you hear from the horse's mouth, so that gives you insight into what's happening. So if you're interested in signing up, we have 2 subscriptions. One is the city, and the other one's the state subscription. So let's say you're interested in signing up for California, $99 a month. Enter code SPEEDDATA, and you'll get a 7-day free trial. Same thing with the city. Maybe you're just interested in signing up for one city. And this particular bit is $37 a month. Again, once you sign up, you can also, we can jump on a Zoom call as well. And that way we can walk you through how to best use the platform, maybe give you some scenarios and how our customers are using this. And just essentially, the point is to get you to close on your first deals or help you close more deals, and basically focus on more targeted leads and more targeted marketing. So that way you're not spending so much money of your marketing money, just trying to target everyone. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, ask in the comments, and I can continue making these videos if you find any usefulness. So, thank you.